WrestleMania. All in.
Tony! We're coming We outside! Bing bong! We couldn't do this without
Vince McMahon.
Psych!
Wembley.
Baby, we're taking it all the way!
CM Punk.
We have
The Elite.
It was rough shit, but we have
All in. Wrestling.
It's real for once, baby! Let's go!
WrestleMania.
We're beating that shit, baby! We're beating that shit! You're next!
Fake record.
You're fucking next! Tell me this, Cody. Don't you regret not coming to Hey! Don't you regret not coming to This place is a dump! I'm never coming back here ever again! Suck my dick!
Vince McMahon.
Suck my dick! Fuck!
Triple H.
You already know! Bing bong! Bing bong! Real talk, I'm from
London.
And you know what?
Triple H.
The fucking fence! Fuck
The Fed.
Bing bong!
Tiger style. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, all right? Make sure you log it in and you remember to check out my good friends over at the Broken Table Podcast live on YouTube. These are some of my good friends. They have some of the best topics going on. They're talking about a lot of good things. And also, they like to put over the Prince Nana dance. Hey, I swerve and I drive. I swerve and I drive. Hey, hey. Don't forget, tune in, log on to the Broken Tables Podcast live on YouTube, my friends.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here with our reigning, defending Broken Predictions champion, Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing excellent.
That is good to hear. Good to hear. Man, I thought that was a pretty good episode of Dynamite tonight, besides the crowd not having too much energy. I'm seeing a lot of Twitter being like, oh, this episode sucks. And I'm like, it's not the episode, it's the crowd. You know what I mean? But I thought it was a decent episode. What about you?
I mean, I kind of want to walk through it and kind of finalize my thoughts on it, because throughout the night, I wasn't like really blown away by much. There was some really good stuff on the show, but I don't know. I wouldn't say it was like a great episode.
Yeah, it wasn't like anything over the top, but I didn't feel like it was a bad episode, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I want to walk through it and kind of finalize my thoughts.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and just get right into it then. This was in Savannah, Georgia here tonight. We started off with Samoa Joe cutting an in-ring promo, basically on his next challenger, and he decided to mention Hook, and Hook shows up. And I actually thought this was really good here. Hook cut a really small, short, right to the point promo on Joe. And Joe basically tells security to get Hook out of there, and Hook kicks the shit out of all the security guards. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine.
I wasn't really feeling it. I saw
the same online.
I didn't think there was a lot to like out of it. Joe was great, but I mean, other than that, I don't know. I Hook felt very phoned in. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was his delivery. I want to lean on it was his delivery. Definitely wasn't feeling it. I don't know. Just in general. I mean, there were some audio issues, it sounded like, which to what it is. But there was audio issues. The crowd was dead. Someone tried to start a what chant halfway through the promo. But I don't think it was all strictly on the crowd. I just think that I didn't think it hit.
It definitely felt forced, I would say. Like, it was kind of like, why is Hook coming back out with Joe? Like Tony had too much fun with that, I think. You know what I mean?
I think on paper it seemed like a really cool idea, but the delivery of it just kind of didn't stick the landing.
Okay, I can agree with that. But this did lead to Samoa Joe joining commentary, and Samoa Joe saying, who raised that animal, and I thought that was hilarious. You know, Taz was sitting right there, and the look on his face. I don't think Taz knew that line was coming at all. It was pretty funny. And we got next up was Hangman versus Penta El Cero Miedo, and I actually thought this was an incredible match. This is where I kind of thought that the crowd kind of needed to, just amp it up a little bit, but I thought this was an incredible match. Penta versus Hangman was awesome. And, of course, Hangman picks up the win here, but great match. I thought this was an awesome opener.
Yeah, so this was something for me that I definitely would have liked in a different town. I thought the crowd kind of didn't deserve the match. The match was good, but it could have been something much better with the right crowd.
I can agree with that too.
But it wasn't a bad match. I mean, it was a good match. Penta, Hangman are two of the most consistent. So,
it was just as good as a match could be with those two, where we didn't have any tables involved, we didn't have any outside stuff involved, just all nice in the ring, clean. I thought it was good. Next up, Orange Cassidy is cutting a promo essentially announcing his next opponent will be the winner of the freshly squeezed four-way. That's going to be pretty good. Did you catch who the wrestlers are that are going to be in that match?
It's Vikingo, Kip, I think it was Butcher, and then there was the fourth one, Commander, I think.
Ooh, that'd be awesome. But this was a good little promo here. Orange Cassidy's he's got an interesting character going on right now. He feels like everybody wants to challenge him, so he's just giving everyone matches.
So I think I might be going crazy, right? Because I didn't see anyone else talk about this, but when the Orange Cassidy promo starts, I have a really nice sound bar, right? So I usually have the volume up pretty decently loud. I enjoy it that way. I swear to God, somebody backstage at Dynamite was vacuuming or something. I didn't see anyone else talk about this, so maybe I'm going insane. There was some really weird air noise coming from Dynamite, on my soundbar.
That's weird.
I'm what is that? I really I even sat up and I was like, oh, is the wife upstairs vacuuming? No way. It's 9:00 at night. There's no way. And I went over to the sound bar and sure, I hear it. And then as soon as the Orange Cassidy segment ended, it ended. And I was like, that was weird.
Yeah, that is odd. I wonder what that was.
I don't know. If anyone's able to go back and watch it and tell me I'm not crazy, that would be really appreciated. I don't know what happened.
Gotcha. All right, next up was the Young Bucks, or as they requested, we call them by their passport names, Nicholas and Matthew Jackson. I'm really enjoying this character change for them into actual EVPs, especially later when we get to see them kind of on the headsets and stuff. I thought this was great. I love the Young Bucks in this character change. I hope they do it right.
Yeah, it's a very enjoyable character change for them. I mean, they're just doing what all their haters say they should be. So,
oh, Coog, that would be hilarious if that's what it turned out to be. Was Toni Storm's makeup person was right over.
That's a very likely scenario. I mean, that I say a vacuum, but truth be told, it was probably someone getting in hair and makeup. So it was probably Toni Storm.
Oh man, Nat says the character change for the Bucks is not hitting for her. I actually like it. The Nicholas and Matthew thing, I think it's great.
My response to that, Nat, would be blame their haters.
Yeah.
It's the haters' fault that they are what they are now.
All right, next up we had Trent Beretta versus Wardlow. And man, I might be going out on a limb here, but was this Wardlow's best match? I thought this match was freaking awesome. The crowd wasn't really into it, so it didn't make it, a big deal, but I loved this match between him and Trent.
I mean, maybe. I liked it. It wasn't terrible.
I'm sure there's one that's better, but
yeah,
this was
there
good.
might be. I think him and Punk had a good, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was good. It was a good match. Again, the crowd just kind of took the life out of a lot of the when you have a bad crowd at a wrestling show, for me, like I almost feel like there's no like the good tier just kind of disappeared. Like, which maybe that's not fair, but it's just kind of like, well, a good match can be ruined by a bad crowd, and it really kind of has to be something special to get the people into. And so for me, I mean, this was another match where it was like, I was grateful it wasn't a squash match. I was worried for a few minutes that they were going to squash
So was
Trent, and I would have not been happy on the pod today. I would have been like, this guy is one of your most underrated workhorses. He's like week in, week out on Rampage, Collision, wherever you need him. He's out there busting his ass, and you're gonna feed him to Wardlow. I was like, I don't fucking like that. That would have been really bad. So, definitely appreciate them not squashing.
Yeah, luckily Tony Khan loves Trent, so I don't think that would ever happen. That's good.
Yeah. So, and Nat and I were talking about it because we haven't done a Dynamite review in 2 weeks, I think, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So Nat and I in the Discord have been talking when we watch Dynamite, and like I'm just gonna say it now because it's like first pod since I've had this stance. I'm sorry, I'm not buying the Undisputed Kingdom. I'm out on them. I'm not in on this faction. Well, that's good to hear. I again, we've talked about like a lot of the reasoning why, and like watching this match tonight just reminded me about how like in kayfabe, Wardlow is working the shit out of all of them. Like we already know, like Adam Cole and everyone's everyone except for Wardlow in this faction is of the understanding that Wardlow is going to win the world championship and then surrender it and give it to Adam Cole. And Wardlow clearly is not going to do that.
Yeah.
So like the Undisputed Kingdom, I'm just going to start calling them the UK. The UK, and it's going to get clipped and make it sound like I'm calling the United Kingdom a bunch of idiots. The UK are a bunch of geeks because it's like, what are you not getting here? This guy is not giving up the world title. He is using you guys as collateral to get what he wants, which in all honesty makes Wardlow pretty damn cool. But like Wardlow is not the centerpiece of this faction. Adam Cole is. Yeah. And from all of the issues I have with Adam Cole being the devil, right? With him going through all this after the All-In stuff. We've talked about it ad nauseum, so I'm not going to go super into it. But like, you take all of that into account, and then you kind of move forward, and it's like Adam Cole just comes off as an idiot here. Like, it's just like, what is the point of all of this? What are we doing? It just seems like Adam Cole is gaining nothing from this group. It seems like Roddy is gaining nothing from this group. It sounds like Wardlow is gaining something. And like, I guess you could say the Kingdom are gaining because they took Adam Cole's titles. So I don't know. I'm really out on this faction. They're gonna have to. I don't know if it's salvageable, to be honest. At this point, I think we've gone too far.
I agree, and I kind of like the idea of them helping Wardlow win, maybe, and then him being like, "Hi, you're not getting the title," and like, I don't know. That seems like it would be a pretty decent angle, but you could not drag that on. That would have to be like, a couple of weeks.
I agree with Nat. Damn Brits.
All right, next up, Wardlow did win this one via a massive power bomb, by the way. That power bomb looked awesome. Wardlow picks up the win here. Next up, Adam Copeland has a nice little video package, the Grit Your Teeth for his match with Minoru Suzuki. Cool little video package there. And then it was time for DeonnaPurrazzo and Toni Storm to join Renee Paquette on the stage. And dude, the way that they split the black and white with the regular camera on this stage, I don't know why I laughed so hard, but I absolutely loved every second of this. DeonnaPurrazzo looks incredible, especially here after everything was said and done, and she held up that AEW Women's Championship. That just looked like it belonged on her, man. Oh, so good.
Yeah, the split screen thing, one of the coolest parts of this gimmick that they've done to date. I thought it was dope. You thought it was hilarious. I thought it was just freaking
it was awesome.
I just thought it was so awesome. I've come to the realization with this segment specifically that since DeonnaPurrazzo has debuted in AEW, this storyline. Now, see, Jeff. Now, next week you need to have it so one of us is in black and white, and
I
now
know,
the other
right?
one. That's now like now you have to up that. Like the gimmick's been elevated. But anyways, I think that like Toni and Deonna are like kind of like low key, very sneakily having like one of the best stories in the company right now. Like
Agreed.
after Hangman and Swerve, and like I guess what the Bucks are doing, like I can't name anything else that I think I'm enjoying consistently more than this back and forth between Toni Storm and Deonna. And tonight was definitely like it went from like a silly gimmick versus a serious wrestler that was really entertaining to like, no, we have history, like show your ankle, and they both have the matching tattoos. And I thought DeonnaPurrazzo absolutely crushed it. I thought that this was just excellent. You know, look, like we've been talking about it for the last few weeks, and look, if Mercedes Moné is on the way, I would say even if Mercedes isn't on the way, if 2024 goes the way it's looking, like the women's division in AEW is going to be the top division, in this company, and it's going to be the best women's division in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Obviously WWE has always done a pretty good job at hoarding the women talent and having some really talented women over there. But if you're looking at this stacked women's roster, once you get like pieces like Jamie Hayter back, you know, if Mercedes comes in, you know, like you bump Athena back up to AEW, like this roster could be something like historic. It's
Can't
we're
wait.
on the cusp of it, and we're seeing like little bits and pieces. You know,
Can't
it's
wait.
worth it.
And
Yeah,
dude,
it's
Toni
really good.
Storm's line with Deonna, where she was like, "I heard you were body shamed recently." She's like, "That is ridiculous because there's so many other things to shame you about." Dude, I was dying, bro. Everything about this segment was gold.
I agree. I thought that line was killer. Again, the storytelling really actually got deep in this segment, and that really resonated. I was like, man, this is actually really good storytelling.
Yeah.
I'm on the ride, so I'm enjoying it.
All right. Next up was a video package from Jon Moxley cutting a really good promo basically on the entire roster and anybody new coming into AEW. He's just going to rip everybody apart, essentially. Thought this was good.
So I thought this was excellent, but it's funny because I debated with myself whether I was going to even mention it, but I feel like we're hitting a point where Moxley's kind of in a holding formation. I don't know what they have planned for him at the moment. But I feel like this has kind of been like his promo for like the last like 2 months.
Yeah,
So I don't
it
know.
really has.
Yeah, he's just like, guys, this is AEW and I'm the guy, and if you're not down with AEW, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you, and I'm gonna cut your arms off and slap you over the head with your arm, and like yeah, it's great. It's excellent. It's an excellent promo, but it's starting to feel a little directionless. So I would like to see us go somewhere with it, but we'll see.
I can agree with that. Next up, we had Taya Valkyrie and Johnny TV cutting a promo together. Looks like they're packaging these two up. I think they look great together. We'll see where that goes. You know, now that QTV is not a thing. You know, it is what it is. If you don't like those two, you probably hated this. If you do like those two, you probably liked it. You know.
For my notes, I wrote skip.
Skip. Well, next up, luckily, it was time for whose house? Swerve's house.
Yeah.
Swerve Strickland versus Jeff Hardy. Listen, I can understand if you felt like the match went a little long, but this was definitely Jeff's best match in a while. Like, he actually looked like he could move here.
14 minutes. 14
Yeah,
minutes.
it went too long for sure.
When Jeff Hardy came to the ring, I was like, you know what? Because look, man, it's the Hardys in AEW. They're like, we all know, they're very like the hierarchy of AEW thinks very highly of the Hardys. We know this. It's no secret. So I was like, you know what? For the hell of it, because Swerve Strickland should, in kayfabe and in a business sense, he should absolutely annihilate Jeff. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pull out the old stopwatch. I grab my phone, I open the stopwatch, I hit that start button, and then I put the phone down, and I'm like, let's see how long this match goes. Surely it's not going to last more than 3 minutes. 14 minutes.
It definitely went too long. I thought that right away.
14 minutes. All right, and look, I understand that, was it Jeff Hardy's one of his better matches? Sure, but I think that was a Swerve Strickland carry job. I think Swerve absolutely put Jeff on his back and carried him.
No, Coog, that's not the match where Nana got taken out.
No, not yet. That's later. Which that match was actually pretty good. This match, though, wasn't very good. Jeff Hardy just doesn't have it anymore. Neither does Matt. I mean, I've said it more meanly in the past, where it's like, just get the Hardys off my TV. I'm just thinking that, like,
no, Macho.
The people that are in charge of AEW, not just Tony, but again, the Bucks are big fans of Matt and Jeff, and like, I get it, like, they're legends. The problem is, and Matt put it really well in the Discord, is that the Hardys are legends in pro wrestling. The things that they've done, they've innovated in, and they've left their mark on pro wrestling, and the history books will mention them and speak of them fondly and frequently. Here's the problem. Their style did not preserve them the way, say, a Christian Cage and an Adam Copeland did. Those guys can go out there and work still and do great work. The Hardys do not do good work 2024. The Hardys haven't done good work. I mean, honestly, before Jeff got suspended for the DUI. Like, I don't think I've seen anything good from Jeff since he's returned, and I haven't seen anything good from Matt outside of the firm deletion. Firm deletion was really good, but that's a cinematic thing, which again, that plays to their strength. So maybe they should do more things like that if we really need to have them on TV. But no, Jeff Hardy was not good here. I think that, like, you can enjoy it for what it is nostalgically, but I think that this in kayfabe kind of hurts Swerve Strickland's credibility. Swerve should have wiped the floor with him. Instead, he went 14 minutes. Swerve fought harder, I felt like, based off how that match was booked. It really felt like Swerve fought harder to beat, 48-year-old Jeff Hardy, or however old he is, than it took Hangman to beat Penta. And, like, that should not be that should not be the case. I didn't like it. Didn't like the match. I didn't like Jeff Hardy being in.
I can see how you didn't like it because you've been out on Jeff Hardy for a while. I mean, and so have I, really, but I actually enjoyed the match. I just do agree it went too long. I think 10 minutes max should have been where this one wound up. But I did enjoy it. Macho enjoyed it. I think Coog enjoyed it a little bit. I think this was just one of those you either did or you didn't like it type of matches. But I do agree it went way too long. Like 14 minutes, it should have been maximum like 10.
Now, are you talking about Hardy or Vegas? Because you might have to double those numbers for Vegas.
Jeff was 46. Okay, yeah, I'm not that high yet. I'm getting there, but not quite. All right, so let's move on here. Next up was Renee Paquette with Hangman backstage. And as he starts to get interviewed, Swerve shows up, and Renee Paquette, she informs both of them that there's going to be dealer's choice matches next week for each of them, where essentially this means that they each get to choose their opponent and the stipulation. Is that how it works?
So I'm actually curious myself, because I would assume that you choose the stipulation well.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case. That would add some spice to it, to not just have it be like, here's your opponent, because you could probably predict. I mean, I would expect Swerve to pick Brian Cage.
Yep.
Hangman? Great. I'm not sure who Hangman would pick. It would be really funny if Hangman chose Matt Hardy. I would, not in a good way. It would be terrible, but I would find it very funny.
Is there anybody that's like one of the only people to beat Swerve? Like maybe Keith Lee again or something like that?
I don't know. Maybe Hangman chooses John Moxley.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. Oof. That'd be good. I'd like that.
Yeah, this is a great promo, great segment. I mean, again, Hangman and Swerve it's one of the best. Well, no, I think that is the best storyline right now.
Yeah, I
think
really enjoy that Hangman
Yeah.
Swerve dynamic right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Next up, we had Thunder Rosa versus Red Velvet in a great match. Really wish the crowd would have gotten more into this one. Was this Rosa's first match back? I've missed a few weeks there. Is this her first match?
No, Jeff, she's been back for like 3 weeks.
Well, I know she's been back. I just didn't know if she's actually had like matches.
Yeah, she's had matches.
Okay. Well, love the new music. Love her full face paint. Actually, I really enjoyed this match besides one thing. So Red Velvet has been here since like day one, right? And she has had that same exact character with that same Mama's Kitchen apron on. And I'm like, that has not worked for 4.99 years. Why is it going to work in 2024? Like,
To be fair, she hasn't done the same thing for 5 years. Number one, she was out hurt for like a year and 3/4. And then she also spent a year as one of Jade's baddies. So
okay, that's true.
So she hasn't been doing the same gimmick for 5 years straight. I understand the critique. I don't disagree. The way I look at Red Velvet, and it doesn't get any easier for Red with the roster getting stacked as it is. But I mean, she's a journeywoman in the women's roster.
Okay.
And Nat was saying like, oh, she should start getting some wins, and it's like, look, it's just kind of like where that's her spot on the hierarchy. I remember Nat and I argued once about when Taya Valkyrie was brought in. I was like, look, man, they just need padding to fill out the bottom echelons of the roster. It's not a bad thing, it's just that's what a journeyman does. They're just kind of there. Like, you need a Red Velvet, you need a Serpentico. Like, they still do great work, but like, you need someone who's going to kind of come in. And Serpentico is not a fair one because Serpentico is squashed a lot. But like, you need like a Matt Sydal. That's a great comp. A Matt Sydal type where it's like, you know what, Matt Sydal is going to go out there and he's going to work hard and he's going to have some great matches. He's not going to win these matches.
I mean, I get it. I like the straight out of your mama's kitchen thing too, Nat. It's just like never taken off. And I love Red Velvet. I just want to see, I kind of want to see her like do some big things, I just feel like that character will never do it. That's all. But I see what you're saying there, Rome. But this match was fantastic. Loved Thunder Rosa's match here.
Awesome. He said the same thing about the Orange Cassidy character, though.
True.
You were wrong there. So,
well, I mean, how long did it take for me to be wrong, though? I was wrong like 2 weeks after I said it. This has gone like 4 years.
Yeah, I know. But you said that you were like, oh, Orange Cassidy is not a good character. He's not the guy. It's like, bro, what have you been watching for 2-3 years?
Said that when he was feuding with Kenny Omega for the world title, and then I immediately changed my mind after that match.
No, you didn't say that. We weren't doing the podcast at that point.
Pretty sure that's when I flipped my script on him.
It was the Adam Cole feud said it.
All right, what does Macho say here? No one noticed they weren't working right. They got mad. Velvet went down on one knee when Rose. Yeah. That finisher from Rosa was awesome. She calls it the Tijuana Bomb. Love it. That was freaking awesome finisher. Great to see a Thunder Rosa back, man. I loved this match, and Rosa's one of my favorites. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with this women's division. Like you were saying, it's getting stacked real quick. Next up, we had Darby Allin and Sting come down to the ring. Darby cuts an awesome promo about how he and Sting are 27-0, undefeated in the in AEW, and you see the Bucks backstage with the headsets on, and they're kind of relaying messages to the truck, like, "Oh, that." I think I heard Matt say like that camera angle looks horrible, something like that.
He said, terrible shot.
Yeah, terrible shot. This was great. And Darby tells Sting he's still got it and he wants to go for the AEW Tag Team Championships against Ricky Starks and Big Bill. And I absolutely think they should challenge them and should win them.
I agree. My only critique about this is like, man, you should have did this like 2 months ago. Like, we're 6 weeks away from the pay-per-view. Like, obviously, look, Sting deserves a little bit of gold before he retires. And I imagine that they win it in 2 weeks and then hold it for a month and then lose it to the Bucks at Revolution. I don't know, man. Again, like, I don't want to shit on Tony Khan here, but like, man, like, you really could have done something special with this run here. You kind of haven't. Like Sting announced that he was retiring. What was it? November, right?
Yeah.
So you had 5 months with Sting, and like, you brought out Ric Flair. You had him work a few matches against tag teams that, again, like, I don't want to be mean, but like, you could have booked some really exciting matches or some really not dream matches or maybe dream matches. I don't know. I mean, you have Danielson going up against Nagata on Saturday. Like, you could have pulled a few strings and gotten some more exciting names in here to go against Sting and Darby, and I don't know. Like, you could have done more matches. Instead, we kind of like we've gone weeks at a time without seeing Sting and Darby on this last leg of Sting's career. And I just feel like, however Sting wants to go out is how he wants to go out. Like, you should definitely do that. Maybe Sting doesn't want to be a TV every. So, like, I'm speaking from an outsider looking in, but like, if I'm Tony Khan and I'm booking this and like, man, like, you could have done some really cool. Like, why didn't we have Sting and Darby go through the tag division? Like, why didn't we get Sting and Darby versus, I don't know, Best Friends just for the hell? Why didn't we get Sting and Darby versus like FTR one more time just for the hell of it? Like, and we could like go through the tag division, pick out tag teams, like Private Party comes back. Like, why not have just a really cool match where you have, what a lot of people see as like the future of the tag division in Private Party versus Sting and Darby? Like, there was just so many opportunities, and now so you have them taking the tag titles because it's in 2 weeks, so they're gonna have 3 weeks of TV time with the titles, maybe 4 if I'm doing the math correctly. I just think that's like, are they going to be on TV each week wrestling? I hope they are. Leading to Revolution, I don't know. I just think that this, I feel like Sting's last leg has kind of been fumbled a decent amount. I don't know if it's doing justice for one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where you're coming from. They kind of just gave him a couple random matches. Maybe that's what they felt like was the build-up for them to have the right for a tag team match here, even though they're undefeated. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I'm interested to see where it goes from here. I think we could have a pretty good next few weeks.
Well, see, like, there you go. That would have been a great one. Could you imagine if we got Sting and Darby versus like Mox and Danielson? That would have been dope.
Yeah, that
or
would have been great.
Yuta and Danielson, like Danielson and Sting in the ring together. Like, we haven't seen that. And again, that goes back to the tried and true critique about Tony Khan, where it's just like, man, sometimes you just have stars that you should really get these guys in the ring together. Like you just should, and you just don't. And I'm not sure what you're waiting for sometimes, because pro wrestling is not an industry or an art form that you can just like plan everything out meticulously and it's always going to go your way. Like, if Tony Khan, if you asked Tony Khan like 2 years ago, there would be a few people that would still be in this company. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And Macho, we love Sting's AEW run too. We're just talking about since he's announced he's going to retire, you would have thought they kind of turned it up a little bit, and they kind of like turned it down just a tad. You know what I mean? That's all.
Yeah.
I've loved his entire run in AEW.
Yeah, to be clear, Macho, I think that up until Sting announcing his retirement, his run has been nearly perfect.
Yeah.
The things he's been doing, the way he's been presented and booked, this is not a critique of Sting's AEW run. It's a critique of the last leg of his AEW run.
Like the last 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, November to today, and probably up till March.
Yeah. But I have a feeling once we get this match with Ricky Starks and Big Bill, I think we're gonna have some fun. Because right after that, Ricky Starks and Big Bill cut a promo accepting the challenge, so we will get Sting and Darby versus Big Bill and Ricky Starks for the championship. Ricky Starks didn't look very enthused to be doing this promo. Was that just me? He just kind of was. He was just standing there.
Bro, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Ricky Starks and Big Bill.
He's probably fed bound, but he'll be stuck in NXT forever.
It's not even that I don't like Ricky. I think Ricky's great. I don't know. Their tag title run has been just pointless and nonsensical. Like it's been whatever. It's been
Yeah,
like,
Macho,
right.
that last match was pretty crazy. That death drop to the Powerhouse Hobbs, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But all right, let's go ahead and move on. Next here was the Mogul Embassy versus the Acclaimed. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang was out there. We had the whole Bullet Club Gold and the Acclaimed out there. And this was a great match here. Prince Nana taking a huge table spot. We had the Guns picking up Prince Nana off the apron of the ring and putting him through the timekeeper's table. That spot kicked ass. Rome, I'm sure you were devastated for at least a few moments there.
I was like, look what they did to my baby boy. No. Why would they do that to him?
Great table spot from Nana. Absolutely loved it. The Acclaimed pick up the win here with an awesome finish. They had Billy Gunn do the famouser. They got the mic drop. 1, 2, 3. I thought this was an awesome match, man. Prince Nana really added to this one. He was like all over this whole episode here tonight, huh?
So I do want to do a quick pause, and Nat just beat me to it, but I just wanted to go to the chat real quick. And David Durham asks, who wins the Royal Rumble? And folks, I'm here to tell you that I know who's winning. You know, I've got the inside scoop. I don't actually scoop. I know how that. So here's what's gonna happen, right? It's the Royal Rumble. Like CM Punk's gonna enter in at like 5th, and he's working through people. You know, he's being the best in the world. God bless him. Still love that man no matter what. Anyways, so he's doing his thing and he's in the Royal Rumble, and like number 20 hits. You know, they do the whole countdown where the WWE fans who can count to 10, thank God for them. Yes, Nat. So then, you know, it's number 20, right? And people are counting down. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it's like wrestling is more royal. Cody comes out. People are hype. CM Punk, Cody stare down. These guys are going at it. Two Titans brawling back and forth. You know, entrance 21 through 29 come and go. And, like, it's down to Cody and Punk. And, like, who's going to WrestleMania? Who's going to face the Tribal Chief? And then for spot number 30, it's going to count down. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, Dwayne Johnson is going to come down at entrant 30, and he's going to throw Punk right over the top rope, and he's going to throw Cody right over the top rope, and Dwayne's going to say, I'm finishing the story. I'm coming for you, Roman. Oh, my God. Ugh.
So,
and that's who's going to win the Royal Rumble.
I completely agree with that. And I actually think that Jade Cargill will debut in the Women's Rumble. It'll be a perfect chance for. She doesn't need to show much. They could just have a couple of the WWE, you know, some of their big time girls. They could just all gang up and throw her overboard, kind of like an Omos situation. That's probably what they'll do to her.
So it's really funny for me on a personal level, because like obviously we've been doing this for a show for a few years, but like people that would know me and my wrestling habits like years back, like I've admittedly, like I've in recent, like the last like 10, 15, I've never been really big on The Rock. Like very like small percentage of, like a lot of people, even people that don't like WWE that much, still like The Rock. But like me, I'm just like, he's whatever. Like
that's how I've always been.
like he's never really like done it for. But so like it's so funny to me that in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024, this is the most I've ever been a Dwayne The Rock Johnson fan. Like I've never been more of a The Rock fan than I am right this very moment in time.
I agree.
It's really a beautiful thing, to be honest. Look, here's the thing, folks. Wrestling is a business. You know, you got to let the heart go. You got to let a lot of that stuff go because it, you know, the talent don't give a shit. They for them, they're there to make money. There's no love for the game out of most talent. However, Cody is different because Cody is a snake and a disingenuous pile of crap. And so for Cody to try to play both ends of the spectrum of wrestling fans, and to see it blow up in his face is something that I will genuinely and personally enjoy. I am probably, you know what? I may even borrow Juhas's Peacock login information to watch the Royal Rumble and enjoy, like, enjoy the moment where, like, it becomes very clear that Cody Rhodes will not main event with The Rock. You know, like, you tried to sit there, Cody. You tried to, you know, no, I despise Cody.
Remember the sledgehammer spot where Cody destroyed the throne of Triple H? That was what I was about to bring up.
Look, man, the thing about Cody Rhodes, and I've said it over the, you know, the few years that we've done this. Cody Rhodes tried to take an audience, right? A very disenfranchised audience who had come to like hate wrestling and hate WWE, or hate wrestling because of WWE, and by turn hate WWE. And he tried to take those fans and said, come here, you know, like, I understand how you're feeling. I feel the same way as a wrestler, as a talent. And he took those people and he used them to become a star so he could leapfrog back to WWE. Which for me is extremely disingenuous. It's something that I do not like. You thought that you were going to break Triple H's throne at Double or Nothing all those years ago and thought that like Triple H was going to be like, yeah, bro, come back and win the world title. You fucking idiot. You dummy. You like all-time loser. Like, look, man, like, get your bag, do what you got to do. But the way Cody went about doing it is so like blatantly dishonest and like snake. He's a snake.
Yeah, Macho, don't get me like us wrong. Like, we used to like Cody. Like, we would never argue he's not a great role model, stuff like that. It's the way he went about doing what he did. He left WWE and then talked as much shit as you can possibly talk about the WWE. And he gained a group of fans that were like us, that hated the WWE at the time, you know, still do pretty much. And he gained his fan base from that. And then as soon as AEW got him up to that place where he was at, he just used that to go back over, thinking that they were going to hand him a championship. Like, I don't know, all the stuff that they did to his family and how he complained about it, and he just threw all that away and went back. That's like certain things in life. Like, I don't care how much they paid you. Like, for me, that was disingenuous is the great word. Like you keep using.
Yeah. Like, so for me, like on a personal level, like this is me talking about me as a person. One of my biggest turnoff traits in people, whether it be, you know, friends or whatever, like, I do not like disingenuous. Like, it is a legit turnoff of, like, if I feel a vibe of disingenuousness coming from you, then like I'm backing off. Like, I'm not about that. Like, either you genuinely want to like be a part of whatever we're doing, whether it be a friendship or a hobby or like whatever. The second that vibe is gone, it's just like, well, you can go over there, because I am too much of a, when I am into stuff, whether it be a hobby or a friendship or relationship, whatever it is, like, I'm really into it. Like, I'm committed. I'm passionate. I'm fucking down for it. So I don't like disingenuous.
Yeah.
And when I look at Cody, the things that Cody has done, like the way that they treated your family, bro, your father who passed away, rest in peace to the American dream, the way that they embarrassed him for decades. They embarrassed him for decades, and then they embarrassed his brother for decades, and then they tried to embarrass him, and then and then they kind of patted off like, oh, well, I knew you could do it, champ. I knew you could do it, pal. And it's like, fuck you. That's fucking mean and bullying. Fuck off with that shit. And then and that's just one of the reasons. Like, we could go on. We could do a whole fucking 3-hour show about all of the dumb shit that transpired between the Rhodes family and WWE, and the things that Cody did post WWE, and the things that Cody did when he got back to WWE, and the things he said, and and the Jade thing, where Jade pretty much took the plays right from Cody's playbook and treated her arrival and departure the same exact way. So that's what it is.
No, yeah, I'm not arguing any of that stuff, Macho. Like, I totally understand how people like him. It's just I chose to be like, nah, dude. After I was a fan of the Cody who was like, fuck WWE, they're fucking horrible. And then all of a sudden he's just like, see you guys, I'm going back. And I'm like, wait, what am I supposed to do now? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those weird things where like, I don't even know how to describe it.
And so, just to kind of chime in, like Kook says, it sounds like Punk. I disagree. I don't think that's Punk. I don't think that describes the Punk situation at all. Cody had a choice at that point. Cody had a choice to stay in AEW, to continue to do what he had said he had done. Like, yes, Punk has lost a lot of meaning behind the words that he said over the years, right? But if you look at Punk going back to WWE in 2024 or 23, it's because at that point he fucked up and he had nowhere else to go at the level he wanted to be at. So, yes, it definitely sours a lot of his legacy, but it's not like I think the Cody one is way worse, because at the end of the day, whether Punk was in the right or wrong, more so in the wrong, Punk got into fights at AEW and got fired and was not being brought back to him. So in his mind, he's like, well, I can't go to the one place, so I'm going to go to the other place.
I'll say one thing,
Cody,
though.
It's different. Cody didn't have to leave AEW. Nobody made Cody leave AEW. Cody did it himself.
I'll say one thing, though. Between Cody and Punk, I think it looks worse for Punk to go back. Like, the stuff he said, he was, his pipe bomb, I'm just like, man, you went back there? That looks horrible, bro.
So yes and no. The reason that I actually disagree with that, again, yes, it does affect Punk's legacy, and it really sucks to see. But you could make the argument, when you listen to Cody post WWE, a lot of it's about Vince, but a lot of it's about Triple H as well. And yes, Punk had his beef with Triple H, but a lot of it was about the company as a whole under Vince. So it's just for me, it's different. Cody legitimately destroyed Triple H's throne. Cody would do the pedigree. Cody made very sharp digs at Triple H. And to act like he didn't is silly. And clearly Triple H knows that, because Triple H didn't fucking forget about it.
Yeah.
And Juwas and I were actually having a conversation about this as well the other a couple hours ago, actually, before Dynamite went on the air, about Cody. It's Cody's such an idiot, because did he really honestly think that they were going to give him the title? Did he really think at any point that was going to happen? No, they're going to keep it on Roman. Roman's going to beat Hogan in September in terms of his title reign length. So they're going to let him beat Hogan at minimum. And then at that point, it's another year and a half until he beats Sammartino. They're going to let him beat Bruno Sammartino. They want
God,
Roman,
there's no way.
I'm telling you, man, they want Roman Reigns to be remembered as the greatest of all time. They want the if you look at the record books in WWE, there is so much of it for them that is in the past, and they want to make the present feel important. It's why Walter is having such a great Intercontinental title reign right now. They're doing the same thing. Roman Reigns is going to hold the title until he passes Bruno Sammartino, and then Braun Breaker will beat him. You can write that down. You can write that down. That's a prediction.
Why don't they just need to do what sports do and say the record is in the modern era? Roman's the longest reigning of the modern era. You know what I mean?
Well, they've done that. They have done that. They have. Because when Punk was the champion, 10 years ago or whatever, they were oh, he's the longest reigning champ of the modern era. but they don't want to do that. They want the record books to show that today's WWE has something of substance or of value. Because like I was talking to Juhas and we were like, 20 years from now, right? And again, like whatever, WWE fans of that product, of that company, like 20 years from now, when Jeff is 95, people are going to be like, oh man, like what can we think about from like this era of WWE? And like nothing. Like the last historically significant thing WWE has done is the Shield. And Roman Reigns, they're going to want him to win or be like the longest reigning champion of all time. That's what they want. Like I'm just telling you. And like this company has built the entire company around this man for the last decade. Like they are not taking this belt off of Roman. They are going to shape this in a way where Roman is remembered as the greatest WWE superstar of all time. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it, but it's the fact. Since 2016, as Nat just said, he has been forced down fans' throats. There is no changing the ship for that company. They are going to stay on course. Cody is not going to win the title. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are the same age. I looked that up today when I was talking to Juhas.
That's crazy.
Like, do you think that Roman Reigns, who's been the top guy for 10 years at this point, is like they're going to take the belt off of Roman and be like, Cody, you're the same age as Roman, but like here you go, champ, be the top guy for whenever. Like, no, it's just not feasible. Cody's
okay, there's no way they're doing the Bruno title reign. That's another 5 years. No way.
They're doing it. I'm telling you right now. How many times does Roman Reigns wrestle a year? 4? 5? 6? Tops?
I don't know, but there's no way.
They're doing it. I'm telling you right now. They're doing it. He's going to beat Hogan in September, and then they're going to be like, all right, yeah, we're doing it.
Oh, jeez. Did we even get to this Adam Copeland match yet? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't. It was great. It was the match of the night. Everybody have a good night. I'll see you later.
Serena Deeb had an awesome video package as well. Yeah, that was after Nana went through the timekeeper's table. Yeah. Yeah, Adam Copeland and Minoru Suzuki, amazing match. Kill switch for the win, by the way. Copeland uses the kill switch to pick up the win. And he gets on the mic and he tells Christian Cage he's still coming for him.
So, you know what? I'm just going to go out. So Coog in the chat says that Paul Levesque has been at the top of Coog's most hated list for the past decade of pro wrestling. Pro Wrestling Illustrated should do the same. Coog, I'll tell you what. I actually tweeted at Triple H today, and I congratulated them. I said at Triple H, I forget the exact words because it was this morning. I was tired, but I said, Triple H, this is an amazing job you're doing. The booking, and I swear to God, I added Triple H. You can go on my Twitter and follow me. I said this. Said The Rock versus Roman Reigns is the money match at WrestleMania, and you gotta do it. At Triple H, Paul Levesque. Look, like we know Triple H has his burners out there on the internet. Triple H, this is the right match to make. Okay, you're doing a great job, Paul. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Roman Reigns, champion for another 1,600 days. Let's go. Acknowledge him, Jeff. Acknowledge the tribal chief. Do it. Just do it, Jeff. Jeff, do it. Jeff, do it with me. Do it with me. Do it. Let's go. 1,600 more days, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, Macho, there's no shot. MJF. Okay, I can't say there's no shot because I've said that before and it's happened. But no, I do not think MJF is leaving to go to WWE. Not even close. But I think that's going to do it for me here tonight. I'm still trying to fight off this freaking cold, man. It's almost like 14 days I've had this thing now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was rough. I was sick a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I got it from the dude at the airport. I know exactly where it happened. This guy was sitting next to me on the airplane coughing up a storm, and I was like, God damn it. I used all the hand sanitizer and everything the whole time on the ship. And then this dude sitting next to me, he's like, no, we cannot stand Roman Reigns, dude. We just, anybody but Cody.
Hold on, Jeff. Hold on. You know what? Maybe we've been a little harsh. Let's let Roman cook. Let's let Roman cook. I'll tell you what. If Roman Reigns, if Cody Rhodes never wins the world champion, right? Like, a year or two passes and Roman is still the champion, I will buy a Roman Reigns and I'll wear it on the podcast. Because, at the end of the day, Roman Reigns he wasn't the hero that I wanted, but maybe, just maybe, he was the hero that I needed. And I think that at the end of the day, that's enough. So,
I might have to match you on that one. I might have to buy a Roman Reigns shirt if he remains the champion and Cody does not finish the story.
I'm just saying, man, let's be realistic here. If Roman Reigns wrestles, because again, I looked it up, he's 38, right? You mean to tell me that they can't have Roman Reigns wrestle 5 matches a year for 4 more years into his early 40s? They can totally do that. This is not some unreasonable thing with how they book their world champions. Like, Roman
They did create a whole nother title for the in the meantime type thing.
Exactly. They made the consolation prize because they know what they're doing. When Paul Heyman said that they were in the bottom of the 3rd inning, he wasn't kidding. Like, that was not, Paul wasn't just working you. Like, that was a shoot. He was like, guys, I'm just letting you know.
I forgot he said that. Oh,
Years to
God.
go. Like, look, I'm just saying. It's what they want to do. They're gonna have Roman beat Bruno. Because, like, here's the thing. If you're not gonna have Roman beat Bruno, then you're probably never gonna beat Bruno. So in their mind, this is when you do it. Did I say third? I think he's 38. I think it's 38. Him and Cody are both 38. I'm gonna double check. Regardless, I think Roman Reigns. Hold on. Yeah, he's 38. I was right. Yeah, Roman and Cody are both 38 years old. Roman Reigns can very easily, for the next 4 years, wrestle 5 matches. They're already doing it. They've been doing it.
True.
And they have a succession plan in place to keep the bloodline story going as long as possible. Where Solo is young, Solo Sikoa can go in and just be the new guy, and they're just gonna keep doing it.
They had a chance with this Solo Sikoa dude to make him into a monster, and he's just getting pudgy. I don't know if the dude's hitting the weight room or what, but he just looks like he's getting pudgier and pudgier, like he's been sitting on his ass.
Plus, I mean, also it definitely helps Roman that he now has family in the board of directors. So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
The Rock's daughter becomes the GM of NXT the day after he becomes on the board.
That's what I'm saying. Which, you know what? Kudos to Dwayne, by the way, because Dwayne is I gotta give it to him. The man is a genius because he knew that he was destined for Hollywood, right? So he leaves WWE, goes on to become an ultra mega movie star, right? Look, his Hollywood flame is extinguishing. It is going out. His time in Hollywood is coming to an end. So it is genius for him to realize that and make the pivot back to wrestling. You don't have to like the guy, but you definitely got to respect the timing. The dude is definitely a very smart man to know to make these jumps when he does. Because now, even though his Hollywood career is clearly winding down, now he's back in WWE. He now owns the Rock name again, so he can go off of he could be the Rock for the rest of his life. He doesn't doesn't matter where he goes, he's the Rock. And it's just man, that's...
You know what the funniest part is? Triple H got kicked off of this board of directors.
Yes.
And now The Rock is on this board of directors. So now isn't technically The Rock Triple H's boss?
Yes, and you know what? I was actually going to mention that because it's a really beautiful thing, because for those that are in the know, Bret Hart has made it known in the past that Triple H and Shawn Michaels legitimately tried to ruin The Rock's career back in the 90s. Bret has gone on record saying yeah, Shawn and Hunter did not like Dwayne and they wanted him fucking out. They were trying to sabotage him, bunch of crazy shit. And like you kind of know it's low key true because The Rock has said in interviews how much he like loves Bret Hart. He's like, I always respect Bret for standing up for me, and like
Yeah.
that's a real locker room leader. It's like these two things sound like they're kind of coinciding. But like now to know that The Rock is Triple H's and Shawn Michaels' boss, like so they opened up the stock market the one day, the day it happened, today or yesterday, whatever it was. And you could see like they have all the WWE TKO guys up on like the ledge. I don't know what it's called. And The Rock is up there. You could see Triple H off to the side and the look on Triple H's face. Love it. Love all of it.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for me here. Anything else you wanted to go over before we head out?
No, I'm ready to 1600 days. Acknowledge him. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it, man. I'm done. I got nothing left to lose. It's all over, you know?
Oh, man. That would be hilarious if they went that route. I think AEW would actually legitimately start to win at that point.
Tell you what, if people want to like subscribe, become members, and like super chat or whatever we do, you know, like I'll do this as much as you want. You know,
Hold on.
I'll acknowledge them every day.
Wasn't Shawn Michaels the GM of NXT? Did The Rock just put his daughter in Shawn Michaels' place?
See, this is the stupid thing about NXT because Nat and I were joking about. I pointed this out to Nat on the Discord on yesterday, because so NXT, a weekly 2-hour television show, which has no correlation to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. So it is in a vacuum, 2 hours of television now has 3 authority figures because William Regal also returned to NXT on Tuesday night. So they currently have for NXT this 1 2-hour television show. Just buy a foam. I have a foam finger. But anyways, they have Shawn Michaels, William Regal, and now The Rock's daughter all running NXT, but like on different levels. It's like this is going to be a bit much. This is a little too much. Like, what do you like? Do they take like quarter hours and like who like what like what's the idea here? Like, is Regal going to come out for the first half of the show, and then like does like The Rock's daughter come out for the second half, and Shawn's like a CEO Nick Sirianni type where he like doesn't actually do anything, like he doesn't control the offense or the defense, he's just kind of fucking there. Like I don't know.
All right, well, go ahead and close us out here, sir.
Sure, absolutely. This has been episode 195 of the Broken Tables podcast. I'm gonna have to look up how many days, if 1600, whatever the number is. We're gonna start counting it down here on the podcast. We'll
put a counter down below.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna close out the show. I'm gonna have to remember it because I'm gonna start counting it down. This has been episode 195 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here tonight. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. We will be back on Saturday night for a really stacked Collision action. Collision's really good this week.
Yeah, it looks really good.
But we will be back on Saturday. You can follow us on Twitter. You can join our Discord if you want to connect with us and talk with us and about wrestling and whatever else. I do a gaming podcast with Dev, the Game Room Podcast, over on our other channel, which you can subscribe. Fire Sirianni, fire McCarthy. Not McCarthy. McCarthy can keep his job forever.
Yeah.
But anyways, subscribe to become a member. Help support the channel. Like, subscribe, comment. All that stuff. It helps us. Go check out some of our other live streams. You want to know what we thought about the last show we did, you can watch that. But yeah, until next time, we will see you guys on Saturday.
Yep. See you guys on Saturday. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. Top Guys out.